Hello, my friends. It's been a while. Sorry it's been so long. I just kind of lost track of things. Was working on a novel and stuff, but I'm back with another video about my Garbage Pail Kid collection. So, thought this time we'd take a look at this binder, which includes stuff from Prime Slime TV, Adam-Geddon, and Oh the Horror-ible. I already went over Revenge of Oh the Horror-ible in an earlier video, so I'm doing things a little out of order, but hopefully you won't mind. So let's have a look at Prime Slime TV. So let's see what's the copyright on this. So this was 2016, and this was one of these series that this has been in recent years. This has been the style they've been doing, where they split the series into a number of sub-series with the name of that sub-series on the back, and then the numbering there. Um, so this one is all about TV parodies of TV shows. So we start out here with this cartoon TV series. We've got The Simpsons. We've got South Park, of course, which is very bloody for some reason. Yeah, and here's the alternate that. Now I obviously don't have every single card in this particular series. You can see there's a number of gaps right here on this first page. But and here's Bob's Burgers. Down here we got oh yeah, this was a Cartoon Network show. I don't actually remember the name of it, but there it is, Barf and Benson. And then we've got one more of the cartoon TV series. Now, in this particular case, I've actually left gaps for every card I was missing on the the rather optimistic idea that I would eventually get them all. I'm not sure that I actually will, because I'm not super excited about this series, but maybe someday, who knows. This one is obviously the ponies, My Little Pony. And then that's all I've got of that first sub-series. So then we've got these classic rerun stickers. They always find a way to get some reprints in of their old cards. I mean, I must save them a lot of money, and people always like to see the old stuff for nostalgia. So they've basically reprinted old series cards. This one is, I think, was this a third series card? I don't know. It was always one of my favorites, actually, of the original series cards. But they put this like what looks like an old school like TV case around it, like it's almost like it's on the screen of an old TV, which is kind of cool. Um, Although not all of these though are actually reprints of old cards from old series in this sub series, which I find a little confusing. So we're still looking at the classic rerun, but now this guy is Morgan Organ, who is clearly like a Teletubby kind of a guy, and he's still got that uh, TV cabinet border. And here's Lisa Loser. This appears to be from Survivor. And here's her opposite number, Marooned Marissa. And then we've got this guy who's clearly SpongeBob. Not sure why he wasn't in the cartoon series, but here he is, Grunge Bob. Oh, and he's being used to clean a toilet, of course, because this is Garbage Pail Kids. And then this is his alternate, Spongy Spencer. And this guy's from Batman, of course, Matt Mobile. And Batty Brad, he's farting because this is Garbage Pail Kids again. And it's kind of fun that he's on it looks like the old school Batmobile from the TV show, but it's like also looks sort of like a car, like a toy car that a little kid would drive. So it's an interesting, weird combination there. We're still looking at classic reruns. I like this one. I always love the old Warner Brothers cartoons. So this is clearly like an Elmer Fudd type character. Rabbit chase, flu season. Everybody's barfing down the rabbit hole. I guess they couldn't really get the maybe they didn't want to take the chance of parodying Warner Brothers cartoons, so they don't those characters in the background don't really look like Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, even though that's clearly what they're supposed to be making fun of here. Here's Leonard Nimrod. This is obviously the original Star Trek series, and there's even like a little Captain Kirk guy in the background too. And we've got Spock here picking his nose. And that's the last one that I have of the classic Rerun guys. So then we're going into a different sub-series. This one is Comedy TV. We've got Broke Brooke and Cracked Caroline. A lot of these I'm not really going to get because I'm not really a big fan, especially of comedy shows on TV. So I don't even really know what a lot of these are referencing, which is another reason why I wasn't super excited by this series. I do like TV, but like, I don't know, sitcoms never really grabbed me. So this one is very gross. Looking up some pee in the bathroom, Lazy Alana, and you'll see again, like a lot of the modern series here, they have different border colors of different levels of rarity. Obviously, the plain white border is the most common, but then I think after that, this green border is the next most common, and then there's like blue and red and yellow. Let's see. Not a lot in this series. I got a lot of gaps again. We got Jingo is Julia, who's this is a very atom bomb type of a card. The art is really not very good on this card, it seems to me. The explosion over her head looks really, I don't know, it just doesn't look very good, I don't think. But here we've got Last Manny. He's got a lot of balls. I don't know what that's about. And then we've got Stuck Inside Amy, who looks like got a person inside of another person, which is kind of creepy. And that's, let's see if we have, okay, now we're moving on to a new one, thank goodness, because I didn't know anything about those comedy TV series. I sound like an idiot. This is comic book series. Now, these I know a little bit better. We've got The Flash here, Flash and Ash and Bear Barry. And we've got this guy's Hawkman, Cage Carter, who is apparently pooping quite a lot. That's really disgusting. Supergirl. Okay, yeah, obviously it's Supergirl. And they put a GPK logo on her outfit instead of the iconic S. Which again, the art on this one just looks really kind of amateur, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. It just looks not very good to me. And then we've got this guy, Goth Adam. So this is from the Gotham TV show, right? This is the guy who plays the Penguin on that show, I guess. And we're still into comic book TV series. So we've got, this is iZombie. That was a show I watched for a little bit. It's a pretty good show. Kind of a creepy card there. This one is a fun one. They did Cyborg from, what do you call it? Teen Titans. But they did him up like an old Garbage Pail Kid card. The trash can character. What is it? Trash Can Ken or Trash Can or something like that? I can't remember. And then I have the alternate of him, Teen Tim. Some of these names are kind of weak, but... and this is one, again, I have the green border for that guy. And we have Unsheldon, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle getting kicked out of his shell. And then we move on to a new sub-series. So this is Crime TV. Here's Cyber, with all of these people being attacked by their devices, which is odd. And here's the other version of that, Crime Scene Gene. This one I kind of like, Murder Molly with like just bits all over the place. I'm guessing this is from Fargo. There is that iconic scene with the wood chipper. Boney Bonnie. I think this is from, what's that show? Bones, isn't that what it's called? And let's see what's next. Tatted Tatiana. Are we still in crime? We are still in crime TV series. And we've got Criminal, which is a brain being interrogated, which is strange. And Mind Over Matt. Yeah. You can see why this series doesn't really grab me that much. I just they don't really connect with me because I don't know a lot of these shows. But this one is, again, this is another thing I don't watch is daytime talk shows. Deadly Jerry, who's actually in the sewer with a microphone. It's kind of a fun concept there. Smutty Springer. Obviously, I'm familiar with Jerry Springer. Unhealthy Hoda and Crocked Kathy Lee. Okay, Kathy Lee is who that is. Aye! It's kind of a fun name, although it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Oh, that's. I was looking through to the next page by mistake there. We'll get to that one later. Let's see what we're on now. Now we're already moving on to another subseries, drama TV. So we've got Heinous Hannah, which is just, wow, really disgusting. Looks like we're just throwing crap all over the walls. Hipster trash. I'm hot. I don't know what that's a reference to. Melted Matthew. Washed Will. I have to remember too, this is all TV shows that were popular in 2016, so it's even less chance of me recognizing them than it would normally be. Yeah, I really don't know what we're talking about here. Drama series. Now we've got Jaw Jackson. He's getting eaten by animals. Anthony Bourdain. Obviously, Anthony Bourdain. It's a sad story about him. Here's Guy Fieri. Gross guy. I know the chefs a little bit. Yeah, we're into food TV series now. Touched Ted. Iron Chef. I love that show. But they've, of course, turned it into actually iron, like they're robots. And then we've got another one, Hell's Kit and Gory Gordon. That's Gordon Ramsay, and they've done him up again like like one of the classic GPK, the devil guy that we all remember. And here's from Cake Boss, we have Jake Boss. He's cut himself, his guts in the cake. That's really gross. And Nutty Buddy is his alternate. Moving along, now we're moving on to game shows. So we've got, this is clearly Jeopardy. And this is actually referring to a particular special that Jeopardy did where they had the IBM computer Watson play Jeopardy against human players. So that's kind of fun. And we've got Wheel of Fortune, of course. Get a Life with Vane Vanna. And we've got a green border on that one. That's surprisingly not very disgusting. You'd think there would be something more disgusting going on there. And here's the Drew Carey, The Price is Right. He's getting crushed under the giant wheel. Crushed Carey. Let's see, what are we moving on to now? It's still a game show. Fox Unworthy. Jeff Foxworthy? Yeah, I guess he had a show. I don't know. Then we've got horror TV series. Okay, so we've got Matt Ress and American Horror Rory. So I guess that's American Horror Story. Sometimes the names help me. And Diary, which I guess is Vampire Diary. And there do appear to be a number of diaries there. And we're moving on again. We're still in horror TV series. This one again is a reference to an old GPK, the guy who's shaving his face off. But this time it's a werewolf. Gene Wolfe, Harry. Red Ned. That one's kind of creepy. He's like a devil guy with devils on his shoulder too. Devilish Devon. And this one I love. Okay, now we're moving on to something else, right? Oh no, it's still a horror TV show. Right, this is Ash versus the Evil Dead, right? So he's cleaning up this room that's just absolutely covered in blood and gore. But I know him mainly from the movies, the Evil Dead movies, and this, that's all you really need to know to get this one. There's his arm, instead of being a chainsaw, is a vacuum cleaner. And he's got the chainsaw version up on the wall, and the Necronomicon is down there on the floor, the evil book that raises the dead. So that's cool. I like that one. Dusky Dustin. Looks like we got more vampires. And then we've got Jimmy Fallon, which is Jimmy Fallon, obviously. Now we're moving on to late night TV shows. And this one, again, is very similar to an old GPK. And again, the art is really not very good. I mean, that's my main problem with this. I mean, besides the fact that I don't really get a lot of the references, like, that's just really not very good art. I don't know. Tonight Joe. This one is pretty good. I love the pose they've come up with here. Conan O'Barbarian and Nate Knight. I mean, it's obviously Conan O'Brien, but they've done it up like an old Frank Frazetta painting from from like the 70s, which that's fun. Now we've got Full Frontal Fran and Severed Samantha, who's just wow, something really disgusting has happened to her. The front of her body is just splat on the floor. Okay. Oh, that was Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, right? Wasn't that the show? And then we got Beat Bill. Oh, okay. So this is that. Yeah. And Mauled Mar. So this is the Bill Maher show. Ugh. That's all I have to say about that. And then we're news shows. We've got Nightly. I mean, what do you do with news shows? I don't know. Here we've got this guy talking about a tidal wave and the water is actually coming out on his head. And we've got Anderson Cooper doing his 360 thing. I remember when he was on Channel 1. We used to watch him in the mornings at my school. Kooky Cooper. Filed Kelly. Mangled Megan. Oh, Megan Kelly. I don't know. Who's next? Okay, we've got Suspender Spencer. Yeah, we all remember that guy. Another talk show guy. What do we got now? Now we're doing reality TV series. Another thing I don't really know anything about. Kim Kardashian, but it's Kim Trashy N, which, wow, they really reach sometimes on those names. Like, Kim Trashy N? That's pretty weak. But she's barfing into a cup on her butt, which is impressive. I think this is in particular a parody of that photo of her that was like break the internet or something like that. I don't know. Bloody Blake. Oh, which there's a classic GPK in the background there, that glass lady who's shattering herself. Angry Arnold, you're terminated. Did he have a show? I forgot that Arnold Schwarzenegger had a show. Terminate. And then we're still doing reality TV, unfortunately. The Biggest Louise R. The Biggest Loser. Jacked Up Jillian. Louise R. Wow, The Biggest Louise R. Okay. Nervous Nev. I don't know why there's a fish. I don't know. Here's Messed Up Mackenzie, who seems to be gluing her face back on. That's unfortunate for her. What do we got here? Botch Ed. Yeah, it looks like something went horribly wrong putting that woman together. Is these guys. And here's the what do you call it? The B version. Then we've got Judge Judy, Moody Judy, and Insane Jane, just knocking herself on the head. Whacked Jack. Oh no, that's on. I'm looking through the page again. We'll get to that one. Sorry. Penn and Teller, Torn Teller, and let's see who else we got. We've got The Isle Andy. Okay, I guess that's from The Island. I kind of like it because it's weird. I always like these surreal ones where like there's this giant head that's also an island and there's little people on it. Like that's just interesting. It's weird. It's creepy. Even though the art isn't fantastic, it's kind of fun, at least in concept. Now what do we got? Cherry Cooper. Okay, so we got to be moving on to something else now. Yeah, this is Reboot TV series. This one looks like it's got to be, Twin Peaks. So Twin Peaks. And then we've got Twin T and Whacked Jack. I do not know what that's a reference to, but the art is just awful, isn't it? Is it just me? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if I'm being a jerk about this, but that just looks really bad to me. I don't know. Like, I feel like, there are kids who could do better than this, but anyway. Here's Scare... Oh, no, I'm looking through the card again. I keep messing that up. Here's Surf's Upton. Maybe this is Hawaii Five-O. Maybe it's what's that other show? Miami Vice. I think they rebooted that one too. Stuffed Stephanie, Odd Todd. Yeah, this one reminds me of like Split Kid. I think I'm thinking of the original old GPK. We're still in reboots. There's Cup Paul. Now these guys I know. Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls. They did reboot that. Bumped Blossom. That was a fun show. And here's Torn Tom and Scary Jerry. So I guess this is a reference to Tom and Jerry, even though these strange little creatures look almost nothing like Tom and Jerry. But okay. And let's see. Okay, now we're moving on to sci-fi TV series, which they seem to have included Game of Thrones as a sci-fi TV series, although I would have said it was a fantasy TV series, but I guess it's kind of sci-fi as well. I don't know. And so this is these are actually both referencing Game of Thrones. We've got Cold Kit and Dragon Daenerys. How did you say that name? I forget. Irked Amelia. So, and again Game of Thrones. Trapped Tyrion and Perturbed Peter. And then we finally seem to be moving on to a different show. This is Ophelia Orphan. Oh, okay. So this one is what was that one called? Black something. I forget. Scary Sarah. Where that woman played a bunch of clones of herself. And here's Limitless and Brainy Brian from the show Limitless, where you took a pill and it made you super smart. What's the concept? Leftover Lenny and Cruel Kevin. I don't know what that's about, but it looks like he's trying to eat and there's someone dropping food on him. I don't know. Sci-fi TV series. Jokester James. Wow, his head is on there. See, the art on that one's pretty good. There's some nice details and some nice care was taken on that one, it seems like. Now what have we got? Okay, so this is the X-Files, for sure, right? Probed, Job. Although that also could have been on reboot because they brought that back. I guess it wasn't really a reboot, though. It was more of a sequel show. Triple X Giles. So we've got two separate cards about the X-Files. I feel like they didn't have a lot of sci-fi series to work with, I guess. So they just kind of redid a bunch of them, which is kind of weird, but Fragile Frank and Kevin Cards. What are we looking at here? Okay, so this is streaming TV series. So I'm not sure what this is about. This might be House of Cards, right? It's got to be House of Cards. Of course it is. And here we go. Make Jake set up Steven. Somebody is like making a model of a murderer, which is probably a reference to the title of the show, Making a Murderer, maybe? Was there a show called that? I think there was. Michael Muir. I'm not sure what that's about. There's a pig, though. Unbreakable Annabelle and Grim Kim. Oh, so this was, yeah, I remember this show. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt or something like that? I can't remember. Selfie. While someone is, like, freaking out in the background. Okay. And then we've got Mashed Ash. This is another one with some nice detail to it. It looks pretty good. The art is pretty good on that one. Oh, and I've jumped ahead again. I'm sorry. I've been looking through the gaps. The gaps always trick me. So now we're looking at some really old school stuff. Yeah, now we're looking at syndicated TV series. I thought it was going to be... So this is I Love Lucy. Obviously, a very famous scene from that show. And then we've got Grillin' Gilligan. Oh, so we've got Gilligan's Island. That one's kind of cool. It's got all the characters and they're cooking poor Gilligan. Barbecued Bob. And then we've got Lassie. So there's always people always think of Lassie coming to warn the parents that Timmy's down in the well. Looks like he didn't warn anybody in time this time. Late Lassie and Timmy Tim. And then we've got Star Trek. Again, we did reference Star Trek earlier, but now we got it again. Trent Trek. He's barfing up a bunch of tribbles. And Alice Attacks. I kind of like that one. He was always in the Honeymooners. He was always threatening his wife Alice that he'd pow zoom right in the kisser, right? But she's She's having her revenge here. She's the one punching him to the moon. That's pretty good. Mashed Ash. So this is from MASH, obviously. That was a show that was very popular. I used to watch that show. But yeah, that's the end of that. Primetime slashy slimy Prime Slime TV. Not a huge fan of that series, obviously. A lot of stuff going on there. I didn't really quite follow. But this next one I like a little bit more. Adam-Geddon. I like it because this one they went with like an apocalyptic type theme. Although again, I didn't collect the whole series, so I've left the gaps here for all the cards I'm missing. And again, I was not super excited with the art. Like, take a look at this guy. It's just not really that impressive. There's like no detail. The background is just bland. But I did at least like the theme a little bit better here with like apocalypses. So this is Alien Invasion, this first sub-series. Again, it's the same thing with the sub-series and the back that just has the name of that sub-series and the number. And this first one is Alien Invasion, Destroying a Dog. So this is actually a reference to the Mars Attacks. There was a movie, but I believe it began as a series of collectible trading cards. So that seems like that's what we're looking at here is collectible trading cards. That's an obvious theme for tops to go with on Garbage Pail Kids. And this one is a great combination of the Mars Attacks type character with an old GPK. They even use the name Outer Space Chase, which is another GPK, but this looks like the Reagan parody card that they had. And then we've got Squash Josh, which is another classic GPK, but they've moved the character into this like sci-fi apocalypse like background theme. And we've got an Independence Day reference here, but it's Independence Dale, and of course there's barf involved. Gotta get that barf, right? And what are we looking at now? Now we're looking at just Apocalypse. These are just Apocalypse stickers. So this is, if you remember, there was that there was that scare around around 2020 about the, I think it was 2020. No, it was before that. I'm getting my dates mixed up. I guess it must have been this year. I guess this came out in 2017, so maybe it was then. The idea that it was the end of the Mayan calendar, so it must have been the end of the world or something. And people got a little weird about it for a while there. So here's the reference to that. Mayan calendar, and Enid end date, I guess. Holy Holly, I guess this, I'm looking through again. Oh, okay, Kool-Aid. And so this is another sort of smaller apocalypse. Remember the story of the poisoned Kool-Aid and the cult that drank it. Here's Devilish Damien. So now we're got a Damien Omen as little letter blocks spell out the end is near. And this is just the generic dude on the street corner with the end is near sign. Right, Ryan? Yeah, he does appear to have been right. And we've got we've got the four horses of the apocalypse here. Beth, Death. We've got a classic GPK playing the parts of the four horses of the apocalypse, which is fun. Beth, Death, and I looked ahead again. That's my bad. Rapture, Robert, and Holy Holly. That's about the rapture. Now we've got the four horses all together. Four Horse Manny and Apocalyptic Rick as this kind of like four-headed centaur. It's kind of a weird concept, but okay. Demonic Dante. Wow, that one's pretty cool, right? It's got this weird green light and the people falling in fire. Three-eyed demon. That's pretty neat looking. Now let's get to those four horses of the apocalypse. So we've got Beth, Death, Dry Guy, and then there's a blank there. We've got Mad Mike, Warren, Virus, Iris, Plagued Paula. Yeah, I like those. Those are fun that they took the old GPKs and like recast them as the four horses of the apocalypse. So we've got let's see, Plague, War, I guess Famine, and I can't remember what the four are. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, they've covered them all. And let's see, what are we moving on to now? Okay, now we're looking at bio and technology. So these are biological and technological ways that the world could come to an end. We've got this Vinny virus guy who's being stuck by yeah, this is a classic GPK again, but given this like biological virus type theme to it. Berry bacteria, just a giant bacteria eating people. Super bactery. Francis fungus, that was kind of a weird concept. Just somebody with a bunch of mushrooms on their head. Okay. Man-made Wade. Got the sort of classic sci-fi movie like, oh no, the horrible, lab created virus has gotten out and it's gonna kill us all. That's kind of where Stephen King went with The Stand, right? That was the concept behind that apocalypse. And then we've got Tyrone Drone. Oh yeah, now we're getting into like the technology apocalypses where the robots turn on us or whatever. Let's see, what do we got now? Still in bio and tech. We've got Rob Slob, who you'll remember was a classic GPK, but now he's just a head on a stick. This looks like some kind of like post-apocalypse type concept here, almost like Lord of the Flies type thing. Here's Acid Rain. Yeah, that looks pretty bad, that rain. Oh, and now we've got, let's see, what's this one? Classic Adam-Geddon sticker. So again, they found a way to reprint old stickers. Here's Dead Ted. And all they did here is just change the banner at the top. They put like little nuclear symbols on it. But otherwise, it's the same card from the first series. And that's what all these sub-series are. These are just reprints of old GPKs with that nuclear symbol on there. Fry and Ryan, Chard Chad, Foul Phil, Hothead Harvey, Roybot again. We just saw him in the other series. Let's see. Who's next? Humongous, the guy on the building. Alien Ian, that one seems very appropriate. So I guess they tried to pick ones that were appropriately apocalyptic looking. I guess that's the concept here. But, they kind of reached for some of them. Just like, here's Losing Faith and Dying Dinah. Jesse Juggler. Okay, what are we moving on to now? Okay, this is Dumb Deaths. I think this was like an insert, a special insert sub-series that you could only get in certain packs, if I remember correctly. So it's just like really stupid ways to die. I guess juggling chainsaws and on a toilet. Oh, is it? What did he put in the toilet? I don't know. Pop rocks or something? Fireworks? I don't know. So the Potty Scotty is again a classic GPK that they've just reimagined here. Oh. And another dumb way to die is, I guess, dressing as a bear and then getting shot by a hunter. Cosplay Jay and Furry Frankie. Beth Tub. Yeah, got a couple too many electric devices by the tub there. And then what have we got here? Whipped Cream. Blew his face up and his butt and everything with the whipped cream. That's impressive. That must be quite a lot of pressure on that can. And that character again looks like one of the classic GPK characters, the pose and the look of it. But I don't think the original one had whipped cream involved. All right, what are we moving on to now? Oh no, we're still into dumb deaths. So yeah, sticking a fork in an outlet would be a dumb thing to do. Shocked Jacques, Ira Socket. And here's a guy who was just crossing the street, not paying attention, and got run over by a truck. Pedestrian. Obsessed Jess. Stop looking at your phone when you cross the street. That's the moral of the story, I guess. Harriet headphones. Okay, so she's just like not paying attention, listening to her music, and a helicopter is going to crash into her, I guess. It's kind of a weird concept, but okay. Hattie Hadron. Oh, so this was the... excuse me, the collider. Some people had an idea that somehow that thing was going to cause the end of the world too. Collided Carrie, so here she is getting like, I don't know, sucked into a wormhole or something. Oh, and this guy is a classic GPK who's now cracking out of the whole Earth. That's pretty cool. Oh, so now we moved on to a new sub-series. This is monsters. So they've taken old GPK and sort of reimagined them as horrible monsters. Although for some of them they didn't have to do a lot of reimagining. But Soft Boiled Sam, Frying Ryan is already a monster who was in it was an old GPK, Charred Chad and Frying Ryan. But this is a wow. Again, I'm just shocked at the incredible low quality of this art. The original Frying Ryan and Charred Chad would have been fine to reprint. I mean, I think they already did. Just now, we went through one of the classic. He must have been in there, right? Did they? I don't know. But this is just an awful redraw of this character. It's just sloppy. It just looks bad. I don't know. I feel like Topps just like felt like, you know what, we can make money whatever we print on these. So just just throw something on there, and I don't know. Cyber Billy. So what do we got now? These are still monsters. Yeah, monsters. This is like a robot monster, I guess. Tommy Tech. Dragged to Helen. Dragged to Hell, wasn't that a movie? That's pretty cool. And Final Selfie Sophie. Although again, that art is just really not very good. Here's New Wave Dave and Graffiti Petey, who's a classic. On the gravestone says New Wave Dave is back. Which is kind of fun. Is they've sort of combined a couple of classic GPK here. This looks like there was a character who was like climbing out of a grave, but they've crossed him with the graffiti character. I'm trying to find, yeah. So it's very much like Dead Ted coming out of his grave, but now crossed with this with the New Wave Dave, the guy who was spray painting the wall in another classic GPK card. So that's kind of an interesting combination there. All right, now we're going to look at natural disasters. We've got Spitfire Spencer and Warming Warren. I guess we're talking about global warming, climate change there. That one hits a little close to home because that's a real apocalypse that's actually happening. Polar Barry, I guess now we're talking about, this is in reference to how the polar bears are losing their homes, so they're going to come down among people and eat them. Yeah, some of these some of these are a little too real. Sappy Sarah and Sappy Sarah. I remember one of my favorite old school GPKs, but now the tree is in the middle of a awful forest fire, and here's a Raina drought, stuck in a drought. Sandy Witch, yeah, that looks unfortunate. Let's see, what do we got here? And then another sort of desert character in a desert, Cracked Crew. Got a lot of droughts and fire and destruction. Here's Richter scale, so this is imagining some like gigantic earthquake, Quinn Quake. And then we've got the big wave, Monsoon June, Storm Surge. What do we got on this sign here? Weaker than the storm. Okay. And another, so we've got the droughts and we've got the floods. Here's Liberty Libby, this sort of classic image of the drowned Statue of Liberty. How about a Sharknado? Here's Terry Tornado. It's a tornado full of sharks. That's fun. Volcano. That one's kind of cool. I kind of like the drawing of the volcano as a person flooding the town with lava there. And then we've got Pompeii J, reliving the whole Pompeii volcano disaster. So another volcano-themed card. And here's another one of these ones where they tried a little too hard on the name. Nuclear Winter. Nuclear Wind TR. Okay, sure. Now what have we got? Meteor Shower Howard. Asteroid Shower. So now we're imagining meteors crashing down on the Earth and killing us in our showers. Very nice. And another meteor themed card. We got Crashed Ash and D Impact. There was a movie about what do you call it? A comet or a meteor crashing into Earth called Deep Impact. So I guess that's what that's a reference to. There's another one with something crashing into the earth, Halley Comet. I feel like they kind of worked some of these themes and concepts into the ground. Like, you already did the meteor crashing. You covered it. Like, why are we still doing this? But okay. I guess there's only so many kinds of apocalypse you can really do before you start repeating yourself. Here's a whole knoll. This is it a natural disaster? I guess it's supposed to be a black hole sucking him in. It's kind of cool that he's grabbing onto the actual banner to try to keep himself from being dragged in. That's a clever idea. Here you've got Grim Jim, a classic GPK, who is absolutely horrified at the choices for president here. Nuclear sticker. How is this a nuclear sticker? Okay, all right. Hillary wins. Catastrophic Clinton. Yeah, I don't think that's the way it would have gone, but okay. And then we've got Trump terror. Trump wins. They're imagining either way that election ending in apocalypse. Lovely. That's a nice pair there. And then we've got Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong doing the old atom bomb thing. And he has a little arm patch that says, I love Rodman. Which, yeah, there was that friendship between him and Dennis Rodman. That was very strange. Bombs Away TJ. Now, this is actually a reference to the old movie, Dr. Strangelove. So that's kind of cool. That's a great movie. These are all nuclear disasters that we're getting into now. Yeah, there's plenty of nuclear. Wow, they really covered the nuclear thing. We got 18 stickers in this series. We got the Split Atoms, Split Spence, Too Late Tate and Bob Shelter. That one's kind of depressing. Like the bomb's already gone off and he can't get into the nuclear shelter. Actually, I mean, this whole series is obviously going to be depressing because it's about the end of the world. But there you go. Sunny Bather. Melting in the nuclear explosion, Louise Lounge. Epic Eva and April Apocalypse, who is like taking a selfie while the apocalypse is happening. And this is kind of similar. Somebody just hanging out. Judgment Dale, sunglasses, hanging out in the apocalypse with sunglasses on. Atomized Alan. Yeah, they really kind of like went to town on this concept too. See how many different ways we can depict people dying in a horrible nuclear aftermath. Sheltered Shelton and Tom Bunkard. Tom Bunkard, that's kind of fun because of course Tom Bunk is one of the original artists on GPK. They put a lot of detail and effort into this one at least. It's kind of cool. Then we've got Fallout Boyd. Fallout Boy reference there. Looks like it's not really working out for him with that suit. Or is the idea that he has farted in the suit and just ruined it for himself, I guess. Radiation. Melting in the suit. That's kind of fun. We're still all nuclear stuff. Oh, and here's the button, of course. Do not press. Jed button. Don't push Mia. They've actually personified the button this time instead of having Atom Bomb pushing the button itself is going to push itself, I guess. Speaking of, here's Adam Bomb again, this time in the White House. And Adam-Geddon, named after the series itself. Yeah, and you can see his head is still blown open, but he's pushing the button again to blow up everything else, I guess. Armageddon and Hydrogen Bob. Yeah, I really feel like they didn't need 18 cards. 18 nuclear stickers. Like, we kind of got the picture after the first, like, half a dozen, I think. But, all right. Now we're moving on to something else, thankfully. The plagues. So now we're looking at, I guess these are all going to be, like, the biblical plagues that Moses put on Egypt, right? So we got Buggy Buddy. Locust Lucas. That's pretty horrific. And here's Buggy Betty, who we remember from the original series cards. Green Jean, but they've redrawn her. Yeah, this is still a plague of some sort. Ed lice, that's really, really horrifying. It's like a giant head lice eating this guy. Not really very well drawn though, huh? Then we've got a Toady Terry, who's another classic GPK, but now it's like he's raining down in the plague of frogs, I guess. Speaking of, here's another frog, tongue-tied tie. Yeah, I really feel like they had like they didn't really have enough content to cover as many cards as they made. They just seem to be repeating themselves a lot here. Here's Leaky Lou, but he's like he's leaking blood too along with the water. That's lovely. Wow, Jesus. Craig Plague. He's got like all the plagues. Would they just put them all together for the last one, I guess? We've got the locusts, we got the frogs, we got the raining blood. Got everything. Now we're moving on to pollution. Another just lovely topic. Conair Contrail. Just leaving like a trail of horrible pollution. Overpopulated. This is another concept of where we're going to go towards apocalypse or too many people. Bye bye bee. So I guess this is the idea. We're talking about how people are killing off the bees, which will ultimately destroy us. Fallout, fill, and contaminate. Yeah, things are not going well for that guy. And nuclear power. With some, they're just playing with a beach ball and the nuclear waste. And we've got like a three-eyed fish over there. That's fun. So that's the last pollution sticker. And then this is from another, sub-series pop sticker. There's Ted Mouse, which is like Dead Mouse, the DJ. You know, I'm not 100% sure that's in the right place. I need to look up what this is from. Is this actually from the Adam-Geddon series or not? I don't know. I put it in here with them, and it is from 2017. It looks like it's one of them, but it doesn't really seem to fit with the theme. And I only have one of 21. Wow. I don't know. I may have to look into that. But anyway, we've got one more series here. And this is one that I really did like. I think I have this complete series, the Horror-ible. Because I like the theme. I like the horror theme. So I got a bunch of these. Yeah, it looks like I think I have them all for this one. So this is a big one. This could take us a while to get through. But we'll go for it. Here we go. So let's see. The first sub-series that we start with here is the 80s horror. Which of course makes sense because Garbage Pail Kids are all about the 80s. So we've got, this is obviously Pinhead from Hellraiser, Pinhead, Hellfrasier. But they've put a bunch of other stuff in him besides pins. And here's Horrific Vic and Potted Grant from the, oh gosh, what is that show called? Little Shop of Horrors. That's what that movie was called. And this is The Shining, Gemini and Shining Sheila. Kind of merge their heads together, and you'll see again I've got some of the colored borders here, green being the pretty common one, and purple is not very common, so that's a pretty rare border. We've got Beetlejuice, Beetle Bruce, Mucky Michael. They made him a lot grosser than he even was in the movie, which is impressive. Insomniac, looks like Nightmare on Elm Street. He's killing the sheep he's counting in his dream, I guess. Unfriendly Freddy. From the Gremlins, we've got Gremlin and Midnight Jack. And Joyless Jason and Friday. I see he's very upset because this month it's Friday the 12th. So he didn't get to have his Friday the 13th. Poor guy. Chet Cemetery. They do give you some pretty big hints sometimes what it is they're referencing, which is nice. 9 Lives Louie. Werewolf Gang. This is the American Werewolf in London. Yeah, they made that very clear. They gave him an American hat, and they said London in the background. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. This is kind of fun. They've taken the Creep Show type logo and sort of magazine cover type look, and they've turned it into GPK show with some classic GPK in the background there. We've got Creep Joe and Creepy Carl, and then we've got Evil Dead reference again here with Half Ash and Bad Bruce. We've got a bunch of images from those movies there. Another Shining reference here with Jack Frost and Shining Shia. Tar Manny and Living Ed. Yeah, not really that great there, that image. Not very impressive. Dale from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt. Chris Keeper. Oh, and we got the Children of the Corn, Children of the Bjorn, Cornelius Cobb. I guess this is Swamp Thing. I don't know if I even would have called that horror. Are we still? This is just, oh, okay, because we're moved on. Yeah, that's why. Now we're into 80s sci-fi. Even though this is theoretically all horror themed, I guess this is sort of horror-ish sci-fi we've moved into now. Living Levi, so that's They Live. Obey J. The Fly with Morphing Murphy and Fly Guy. Now this is E.T. There's really nothing very horrifying about E.T., but okay. Dexter Terrestrial, Crash Landing, Alien Life Norm, and Gorge Dawn Gordon. Is that Alf? I think it's Alf, right? Because he was always wanted to eat the cat, and here's the cat like popping out of him. It's kind of a weird idea, but okay. Rita Reptilian. That's from V, I believe. Snake, Jake, and Kurt Tussle. Kurt Russell is Escape from New York, right? Robin's Egg. Oh, that's that Robin Williams show, Mork and Mindy, right? Hatched Hal. MacReady, Macready, and Repulsed Russell. Again, this is The Thing. This is a really great movie. Brad Taste and Pickin' Peter. I'm not 100% what that's a reference to. Is that a reference to Bad Taste? That movie? I guess so. Now we're moving on to a new sub-series. So this is classic film monsters. So these are going to be fun. So this is from Nosferatu. It's an old black and white vampire movie. Nosferatu. Nick Nails. That one's pretty cool. Jack Ill and Hyde. So this is Jekyll and Hyde, obviously. That one's pretty neat. The Phantom of the Opera, Lun Lu and Gassy Gaston. He's activating the pipe organ via the toilet. That's awesome. Reflectionless. So we've got our classic vampire GPK here. Bloody Bram. A lot of vampires going to pop up, I guess. Frankenstein, Jumping Jack, and Alive Alvin. The Bride of Frankenstein, Harry Mary, and Armpit Harriet. Interestingly enough, there was a special... they did a special small series crossing Universal Monsters with GPK. I have those too somewhere. I'll probably end up showing those off in a future video, but they kind of repeated a lot of these characters in there with a different sort of look to them, different style going on. So here's the Invisible Man, Invisibill. Of course, he's on the toilet. Wrapped Ron, and we've got the Mummy, Faraloa, really? And Bathroom Boris. Yeah, some of these names are not so good. Full Moon Boone and Lunar Lawn. See, I really feel like they could have, gone the extra mile and drawn something a little bit better for that, but okay. This one I kind of like the look of this guy. Jack Lagoon is just a cool fish man kind of thing going on, and they've got him stuck in the in the plastic rings. And Creature Craig. And then we've got this is like what do you call it? Who are those guys? The comedians. They had those movies where they met all the classic monsters. I can't remember what their names are. Then they just took all the monsters and put them together into one monster with all their heads on this thing. So we've got Monster Mash Nash and Mashed Upton. The Monster Mash. And we're still doing classic films. Cat People. There is a movie called Cat People. It's actually a really good movie. Irritated Arena. Yeah, I think the character's name is Arena. And then House of Wax with Vincent Price is another classic. House of Max, Vaporized Vincent. And they put the like melting wax all around the logo banner at the top. And he's like melting his face into a jar. Wow, that's intense. Now let's see. What are we moving on to? We're still classic. There's one more classic film monster. They're counting the witch from The Wizard of Oz as a classic film monster. This one is actually pretty well drawn. The dog looks really cool. I mean, they've got the flying monkey in the background. And she's oh, I see. The dog is melting her by peeing on her. Okay, that would be a very different ending to that movie, but okay. And there was also for this series, a series of 10 inserts. And again, these only came in certain packs when you bought certain packs. And again, this was a a cheap way for them to reprint old cards. So they just took some of the old GPK that were already monsters and reprinted them and called them classic monsters. So we've got all these guys should be very familiar to anybody who knows the old GPK. These are the guys. Weird Wendy. I mean, they didn't even do. The only thing they did different here when they reprinted these is I think they changed the color scheme on the banners and the name bubbles to orange and black to give it sort of a Halloween look, I guess. Finn Lin, Rappin' Ruth, Tommy Toom. Otherwise, the art on the card is exactly the same as the original card. And there's 10 of these, so we got some more. Janet Planet and Spacey Stacy. Hot Scott and Lukewarm, who we've seen referenced earlier. Odd Todd and Bent Ben. Frankenstein and Undead Jed. Eerie Eric and Berserk Kirk. So those are all the classic monsters. So that's fun. And we're moving on to a new sub-series now, folklore monsters. So these are kind of fun because I've always been fascinated with folklore and with cryptids like Bigfoot and stuff. So this is fun. Squashed Scott and stepped on Stefan. Here's the Chupacabra Chad, Goat Tucker. It's a monster that's supposed to I think Chupacabra actually means goat sucker. They're supposed to suck the life out of goats. Oh, and this is the one that's near and dear to me. It's a Jersey boy. Here's the Jersey Devil. Jesse Devil and Jersey Devon. And then we've got the Kraken taking a little bath, playing with some ships. Gianna Squid. The Loch Ness Monster, which is apparently just a person underneath. Loch Nessie and Scotland. I've been to Loch Ness. It was fun to be there. They have a goofy little museum about the monster. Here's Mothmanual. He's barfing up something. Oh, is it all the sweaters he's eaten? Yes. Woolly Woody. That one's pretty fun. I like the art on that one. And here's I guess this is a Yeti who's getting brain freeze. Brain freeze Brian and Iced Bryce. We're still in the same, we're still doing folklore monsters. Boogeyman-y. Oh, so this is the Boogeyman. Will get you. The monster under your bed. The Boogeyman. And this looks like Medusa. Stone Frida. And Snake Pit Pat. And then we've got, I think we already did Bigfoot, but we're doing Bigfoot again. Handy Sandy and Prince. Yeah, and that's the end of the folklore monsters. So now we're moving on to modern horror. So these are going to be modern horror films. So here's Candyman, Candy Dan, Swarmin' Norman. Heavy-Handed Harvey. Yay! It's Hellboy. Gotta love Hellboy. Rippin' Pippin. Bubble Blair and Snot Dot. Of course, a reference to the Blair Witch Project, that famous scene of her super close up filming herself and kind of crying. For some reason, they had to go with the focus on the snot, and the snot is having its own snot, it looks like. We've got a Ouija board here. Ouija wall planchette. It's eating people's fingers, I guess. I think I would stop playing with it after it ate the first finger, but okay. Then we've got the It reboot here. Selfie Georgie. And Predatory Penny. And there's Death Day, right? Happy Death Dave and Abby Birthday. Ripping a face off. Pighead Ed and Sawed Claude. I gotta admit, I'm not sure what that's a reference to, but it's kind of cool looking. Leprechaun, the leprechaun, I guess. Rainbow. That one's kind of neat. Very gory. Hand It Over Hannibal and Deliver Ray. Silence of the Lambs guy. Ringleader and Ramona Control. This is from The Ring. So that's a freaky movie. I like that. That's a good reference there. And then we've got Trem Marys. This is Tremors, the giant worms. That's pretty cool. I like the way they did that one. Grant Boyd. Oh, and then we've got, we're doing Human Centipede here, I guess. Uma Centipede and Centipeta. Puppet Masterling and Wade Blade, the Puppet Master. Mute Michael from Halloween, of course. Halloween. Chris Krampus. Satan Nicholas. It's Krampus. That's a fun one. And here's Alien and Predator. Alien Allen and Predator. Predators. Wow. That's weak. But they've stuck them together into one character and they're still fighting each other. Oh, this one is fun. Aeon Flux. It's Aeon Flux. The sort of famous image from the old MTV cartoon of the giant eyeball, and I think it was a fly caught in the eyelashes, but in this case it's Aeon Flux herself. And this is modern sci-fi that we moved into now. That's what Alien and Predator and this Aeon Flux thing is from. Animation. Yeah, and this is an actual reference to the cartoon, I guess, not the live action Aeon Flux, which was quite terrible, I have to say. Deadly Donnie and Fatal Frank. So this was a great movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a really cool movie with this guy in the bunny suit and the plane crash, and there's like a time travel subplot to it. And here's, of course, I love this one because this is a reference to Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is a show I really love, a comedy show where this guy and his robots watch movies and make fun of them. MST3K. Very fun. They're counting that as modern sci-fi, which is also what they're calling this, Westworld, even though this is the clearly from the old school Westworld, but okay. Shoot to Cal. And then we've got The Exorcist with rotating Regan and Leaky Linda. That scene where she barfed up the soup. It's very classic. So now we're moving into retro horror. We've gone from modern to retro. We did classic, modern, retro. They're really kind of like going all over the place with time. Eraserhead and Eliminate. I guess this is Eraserhead? I don't know if that's even horror. I mean, it is disturbing. Ravaged Rose. Mutilated Mary. Morticia and Gory Gomez. So that's the Addams Family. That's not horror. I never would have called that horror. Anyway. Cautious Carrie and Sicko Sissy. We've got Carrie going on here. There's a lot going on in this picture. There's just a lot of little details here. It's almost like overloaded. Now we've got Cthulhu. Gotta have Cthulhu in here. Chet Hulu from Lovecraft. H. Pete Lovecraft. And then we got the Zombies, Dawn of the Dead, Dean of the Dead, and Fryboy. We got Jaws with Great White and John Jimmy. The Hills Have Eyes with Bill Has Eyes. I kind of like that one. And The Hills Have Ira. I think Bill Has Eyes is funnier, but Amityville with Amy T. Ville and Amity Bill. The Birds with The Birdie and Hitch Coco. Just tons and tons of poop. That's pretty gross. And then we got The Wicker Man. The Wicker Stan. Sacrifice Stevie. That's the original one from the 70s is a really, really deep, crazy movie. It's very good. Very disturbing. I don't know so much about the modern one, but here's Leatherface, Chainsaw Massacre, Leather Chase, Massacred Matt, Legendary Gary, and Lars of Darkness. This one kind of is a surprise. Retro horror. This is actually from the movie Legend, which was a really cool fantasy movie by Ridley Scott with Tom Cruise. And this character was actually played by I can't remember any names today. I can't remember the name of the actor, but he's a fantastic actor. That's Tim Carey. Yeah. So that's really cool to see. A reference to that. I always loved that movie. Tomato from the Killer Tomatoes. Veggie Reggie. Rod Swirling and Twilight Tones. So we're doing the Twilight Zone, obviously, here. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Chloe Encounters and Simon Says. That's a little weird, the way they decided to do that one. I love this. This is this is really the reason why I really like this series, because they make reference to all these movies that I love. This is like the Gamera movies, the Giant Turtle movie, Turner Soup, and then you've got King Ghidorah here from the Godzilla movies, Three Headley. We got Plan 9 from Outer Space, Pam 9, Edie Wood, the horrible Ed Wood movie that many people agree is the worst movie of all time. This is from This Island Earth, which actually MST3K did a parody of in the MST3K movie. So it's kind of fun that they have a reference to that too. Crustacean. We're back to The Fly again, Swathead and Altered Andre, but now we're referencing, I guess, yeah, since we're in the retro one, we're talking about the original The Fly, which I think had Vincent Price in it. That was a really good movie. Here we got The Blob, Bob Blob, Slimy Steve. He's got a lot going on in there. Some fun details. Soylent Gene. I love the way they've done this one. Just it's a little obvious what the Soylent Green is made of, but I love the sort of drama of the color and the lighting on this one. It's very nice. Solent Green. And then we've got Alien again, Rip and Ripley and Split and Sigourney. She's the one coming out of the alien though. I like the reversal there. That's fun. And then we've got Rampage and Robbie and Forbidden Janet. So this is a reference to Forbidden Planet, which is another fantastic old sci-fi movie. A lot of fun. Then we've got Saucy Sammy. This is like an alien with like Garbage Pail Kid eyes, heads for eyes. That's very weird. And Invasion. Rob Bot and In 3D. This is a terrible old movie called Robot Monster that this is a reference to, which again is another movie that MST3K made fun of. It's kind of fun that I can see why they wanted to include the MST3K in this series, because there's so many movies in here that are kind of like their kind of movies. Then we've got Chodzilla and Shane the Lizard, which is like Godzilla but like peeing fire on a city. So this is kind of like referencing also that awful bumper sticker that people have sometimes, that guy like peeing on stuff. Which I don't really love that, but the Godzilla reference I appreciate. We've got Morgan Grinder, like Organ Grinder loves Planet of the Apes, Janet of the Apes. And then I've got in here, so this is I just stuck one of the packs in here. They put Mr. 1A on the cover of the packs for this. And it's mentioning here that some of the stuff you could get, the purple stickers and the randomly inserted stuff, and another sub-series that you could get with the Horror-ible. And these were, again, special inserts that only came in certain packs, was this fun trick-or-treat sticker sub-series, which was actually like sort of a double parody type thing, where they were basically doing wacky packages of candy, but with GPK on them. So it's kind of a fun combination of various different things. So we've got you'll put on pounds, and I always love the wacky package kind of style, because it always has this kind of like really hyper realistic style, but then with these like ridiculous packaging with ridiculous things on them. Hershey, Mr. Goodbye, The Last Ride candy bar. And you'll notice this series does not have A's and B's. These are just there's just 10 cards. They didn't do A's and B's, because with wacky packages they don't do A's and B's. There's just the one. The Desert Candy stickers, chocolate covered cactus. And you'll see also all of these are in the landscape format. 3 mosquitoes, candy for insects. And there's always fun little details on these wacky package type stickers. Reaganettes, candy coated raisin taxes. Better than jelly beans. A lot of references in there. Kick Cat, get your kicks. Vitamin fortified chocolate cheese for mice. Greaser's Pieces. Now I kind of want some Reese's Pieces. I always love those. Peanuts in a greasy shell. Ugh. Muck and Yuck. Gooey slime-coated candies. And you'll notice, of course, all these guys are classic GPK characters that they put on here, which is fun. Senior Mints, Cranky Mints, and Pure Confusion. Scarburst. Isn't life scary? And I kept this for some reason. Some of the packs would come with these weird, like, random blank cards with little things on them. I don't think it's really anything. It's probably like a security thing that just got stuck in there by mistake or something. I don't know. But I kept one just in case it was something important. But there you go. That was a lot of cards to go through. It's been over an hour. I've been talking. I really need a drink of water. I hope you guys like looking through these. Yeah. I still got more stuff to look at, but we're getting near the end of my collection of Garbage Pail Kid cards. Getting there. I've still got UK minis that I'll probably go through with you, and then of course I do have some wacky packages that we could look at as well. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. I'll see you guys later.